you need to keep your business on the move, you need Fuel Distributors of Western Australia. The experts when it comes to the reliable delivery of bulk fuel and lubricants. A modern fleet handle contracts from the smallest farm to the biggest mining operation, from Albany to Geraldton and across to the goldfields. With over 19 years of experience, we pride ourselves on providing a fast and efficient fuel delivery service. Fuel Distributors of Western Australia, your local fuel people.
Well, good afternoon and welcome to the 2024 edition of the East Fremantle Yacht Club's Rumble in the Reach. An afternoon of 3 pursuit races, 13 starters this afternoon in the beautiful waters between Blackwall Reach and the Swan Yacht Club. We're in a very privileged position on the veranda of the East Fremantle Yacht Club. There's a large crowd here. And I'm Ed Feathers, and this afternoon commentating with me is Peter Kennington. Peter, g'day. Peter, the 14th edition, you've been here since the inception. There's a few of the boats out there limbering up at the moment. Let's run for our audience the runners and riders for this afternoon's race. Let's run through them from the first starter, eh?
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Rumble in the Reach East Fremantle Yacht Club. Before we get started with the main event, we've had the dinghies out this morning, and so we've got a few trophies and some money prizes to hand out to the successful sailors. I can hand over to Margaret.
Melee of Adele Cullen, Kilcullen's a Melgers as well, and Rhythm of Nick Gray is a Melgers. So 3 Melgers for us this afternoon. Expecting great excitement from that group. And the next group, there's 3 Elliots. So 3 Melgers and now 3 Elliots.
Second, Alex Foley. Vic tonight, EFYC. And first was Hudson Armstrong, the South Coast Yacht Club.
And we've also got Octopussy, a Shore 650, and that's got Reese Howell on it from One Sails. Steel to Breeze, John Park, the Viper, boat with no name, Kim Lewing, and Hissing in the Wind, Brett Sharp, and Parabellum, a new one, Shane Phillips, up from the Cruising Yacht Club, CR 1945. We're seeing a boat limbering up out here now with a beautiful blue spinnaker there, Peter, and it's doing a few manoeuvres to get ready for this afternoon's racing.
National 125. We only have one competitor, but James Heggett, Nicole Ranfrey, beyond expectations.
So look, if you've just tuned in, the beautiful pictures you're seeing are coming from Two Monkeys, Kelvin Hart. He's up here on the veranda this afternoon, and it's great. Kelvin's working behind the scenes, and he's right next to us in the central commentary position, so we can get all the information from Kelvin. But it's important to get the angles right, Peter. You've raced on this race course before, working the mark roundings as we see there on the screen. Just beautiful angle coming into that mark, just a little wide on the mark, but a really good rounding. So that's Adello Kilcullen in the Melgers 24 melee, and they're on port tack and they're making their way to the northern shore. If you're not familiar with this track of water, the houses you see on the screen there are on the northern side of this beautiful patch of water, and there goes Melee in the upper section of this picture on port tack, testing those angles as a few little those nasty little jet boat things come right past it.
Sub-Zero, Nathan Cole from Major. First was Space
Well, Peter Kennington, these are 3 pursuit races. What we're seeing now is the boats warming up. We have not yet got into the sequence of the racing. The boats are warming up. I think we'll shortly be underway, but it's great to see them warming up. So the slower boats go off first, and the faster boats later. They'll be sailing, there's a white flag there, so they'll be sailing the southwesterly course, a downwind start, moving out to the east, and then I don't know how many laps yet, we'll find that out very shortly. But yeah, so we must be coming up to a start. They've got soon we've got the orange flag indicating the start line for us.
So for those who don't know, there is a commentary provided by Ed Ferguson and Kennington, so you should be able to hear that. And it's live streamed on Facebook. It should be up on the TVs. Hopefully it's on all of them, so you should be able to see some on-water action as well as what you can see from the balcony. So enjoy your afternoon. Thank you.
So looking at that picture now, we can see the beautiful East Fremantle Yacht Club in the background on the screen as Anton Jakonovic and his youth team from Royal Perth execute that jibe manoeuvre. Bear in mind they're just limbering up at the moment. That's Anton Jakonovic on the red Elliott 7, one of 6 that they've got up there at Royal Perth, 2 in racing this afternoon, and just going around that mark to check out the angle. Lovely drone picture now of that Elliott 7, and as it heads itself down there, and gee, that's a beautiful picture of that well executed manoeuvre. This youth team is looking pretty good, I'd say. And there's the boat picture there. It looks like that's on Octopussy. You can see that that's Octopussy with the curved edge to the side of the boat. Nice for hiking, really. And now we're back to having a look out in a northerly direction from the Yacht Club veranda, with some of the local yachts and launches in the foreground of the picture. And the race course this afternoon is out to the east to start off with. If you're looking at the screen on your Facebook page, it'll be to your right, and then there's 2 marks quite close actually. It's a very small course. Then it'll be a downwind to the bottom mark, 3 and 4, and then back. It looks like they'll probably get 3 or 4 laps in, I suppose. So whilst we have a delay in the start this afternoon, and we're looking at the boats limbering up, the racing has not yet started. Peter Kennington, do you have a view on, having looked at the handicaps, who we might look out for in the racing this afternoon? So you're on the shore 650 of Octopussy of Reese House, and when we eventually get racing in, if you're watching from home, you'll be able to identify that boat with their red, white and blue spinnaker. Reese Howe from One Sails sailed really well last year, but mark roundings were a challenge. It was a tricky course last year. So you're on, that's Peter Kennington's on Octopussy. I have a differing view. I like a Kaya of Gian Paule Prugnale. As we look at a Kaya, Peter, I can see Skip Lissaman there. Skip Lissaman from Australia too. I can see on that boat Mark Grist, and I can also see Lachlan Putt. We've moved off a Kaya now, but we've moved on to, looks like the Royal Perth women's team. I think we can recognise on that boat with Ray Smith on the helm, and if he come out the other side, there's big Mike Hughes getting off there, getting over to the other side, getting his weight out to one side. Not that he might need it this afternoon. The big fireman Mike Hughes that we talk about, that we just saw on Just Like Heaven of Ray Smith, participated in this year's Rolex Sydney Hobart, and Mike Hughes has sailed on a Rolex Sydney Hobart winner, so no shortage of talent with him. Alan Smith, also on that boat, is an America's Cupper. As we cross back to boat number one, it looks as though that's the boys team, and once again a big beefy bloke there. You can see in your screen Travis Burtonshaw, boating operations manager at Royal Perth Yacht Club, looking at the wind. Anton Yukhonovic sitting down inside the boat, just taking it easy, replenishing his fluids out of the water bottle now, as these absolutely fabulous pictures are coming to you on your screen. Peter Kennington, that's right. He sailed on Waiuna of Hilary Arthur in this year's Rolex Sydney Hobart race. They came 67th, completing the race. It was a challenging race, but he's only freshly back from that Rolex Sydney Hobart base. And this is what a lot of these young sailors are like. They jump from boat to boat, and there he is out of the Waiuna, back in town, immediately onto the Elliott, and brings a youth team to the Rumble in the Reach here at the East Fremantle Yacht Club. And that boat there is Rhythm it's a Melges 24 as well, and that boat's Rhythm of Nick Gray, and once again that's got a talented group of sailors on board. Well, Luke Patterson there. Have a look at him there, Luke Patterson. I mean, he's come out of sailing with his son in the recent Mirror National Championships. Luke Patterson sails an Etchells. There he is, pointing away and giving some advice. So he's come out of that. He sails the Etchells. And he's also sailed on a flying 15 with Grant Alderson at a pretty high level. So he's recruited well, Nick Gray. 665, the orange kite, a beautiful picture. 655 on the sail, 655 on the boat. Nick Gray on the helm, and Lachlan Putt on the and Luke Patterson on the boat there. And we're back here having a look at it. Looks like it could be Parabellum. That's Mellow. Okay, great. Yep. That's Artillo Kilcullen on the helm. Mike Kilcullen, the boat owner, is on the bow. And his son Artillo is helming the boat today. There he is, stick in hand, just as Peter Kennington says, just easing back there, checking the conditions as the AP flag is still up on the race committee jetty. So we are waiting for something, a settled breeze or a mark lay. I think they've relayed the marks, Peter. So maybe extended the course a little bit, which is great for commentary. And did you see that young bloke on the screen there, Lachlan Puck, dive up to the top there? Skip Lisserman would be happy with that, and having a young bloke there to tidy up. You see Octopussy there, and on the back of that T-shirt, it's got the Hardy Cup. Now, the Hardy Cup's a youth match rating regatta in Sydney. And so these guys, they go to Sydney and match race, and then they're back on the boat. You can clearly see it on the guy that's pointing to the wind direction, and that's the Hardy Cup. It's a well-known youth event on the East Coast. Great to see these young sailors. I think as we've looked around, Peter, this afternoon already, we're seeing a lot of youth in amongst this fleet. And whilst we're talking of crew, this afternoon, Kelvin Carr from Two Monkeys has got this whole beautiful pictures that you're seeing on your screen together. There's a number of camera people out on boats and drones in the air. But our commentary team has got Warren Erasmus, who rides for the Weekend West and is dealing with 91.3 Sport FM, updating them this afternoon on the racing. We have our stats people in Cyril Elopoulos and Clem Rogers. And we're no good without those guys that give us the stats as the afternoon unfolds, particularly when the racing starts and it gets a little complicated. Once again, the camera shot there on RF 707, Ikea and Elliot, and it's a lovely picture of the Elliot, and there it is on the screen. And now we're shifted to Octopussy of Reese Howe, and watch out as the afternoon unfolds, but just as they still it there now, for those sides where they can hike a little bit more on the outside. As we draw back to a number of pictures, you can see them in the thing. Yeah, we're getting a bit of background feedback, but that's okay. Now there's Turkish Delight. That's the first time we've seen the boat in the pictures this afternoon. Red and white, Turkish Delight. Nice shot of it. Looks a bit like a chocolate box, doesn't it, really? Don't you reckon? Don't you reckon, Pete? And Anton Djukanovich's boat with Travis Burton Shaw, boating operations manager at Royal Perth Yacht Club, flying down the law, I think, there to the guys. Still an AP up on the starting jetty. Still some chats going on down there. Big crowd up here on the veranda. Some notables are here. I see Mandy McAvoy's here this afternoon. I see John Roberson here this afternoon. Manfred Spiker's here this afternoon. Oh my gosh, there's a crowd of stars. It's a veranda of stars up here. We have, and later on we'll have ferries as well. So let's just hope our statisticians can focus on the coast and make sure that we're okay with that. People may have just joined us. Let's just run through the runners and riders for you again. Squalo Banco, Declan Keogh. It's a Sports Boat 20, Turkish Delight, East Fremantle 5. It's a Par 25. Just Like Heaven, Ray Smith, one of the Melges 24s. Melee 24 is Melee, Adele O'Cullen, Rhythm Nick Gray, another Melges 24. You'd think a bloke would be able to find a name for his boat and not call it Boat With No Name. Kim Looning, Boat With No Name, Oz 270, Viper 640. Yeah, it's a strange name, Boat With No Name, but I guess we're going to have to live with it this afternoon. They hissing in the wind of Brett Sharp, they give 30 seconds to, so I think Kim Looning will be probably pretty good on Boat With No Name. I reckon he'll be the best of the Vipers. In the wind of Brett Sharp, they give 30 seconds. Kim Looning will be probably pretty good on both. I reckon he'll be the best of them. Okay, so we're back to... Well, that's encouraging. Looks as though we're into it, Pete. Five minutes will go pretty quickly. And look, you can see from the screenshot, the boats are gathering now. They know something's going to happen. They've all picked up a step or two. So 4 minutes to go, Pete. And it's course number 1. Warren will relay how many laps that is to our stats people, I'm sure. Course 2, great. Okay, course 2. Oh yeah, I can see it now. And look at that, the two monkeys are onto it, right onto Yuan, which will be the first boat off the line. You can see the guys getting ready on the boat now. That's Declan Keogh there, standing up, checking the line out. He's making sure his approach to the line is right. Declan Keogh mixed up with soccer and also loves his sailing. Got a fairly different sort of crew this afternoon, but he'll be the first boat off the course. Mixed up with soccer and also loves his sailing. Fairly different sort of crew this afternoon, but he'll be the first boat off the course. Inside 4 minutes now. Well, they love gathering around this line. Okay, there we are, the first boat off in the 14th Rumble in the Reach this afternoon. 3 pursuit races. This is the first of the 3. Declan Keogh lining up. Great pictures of the boats milling around the start line. One minute to go. I like his position, Peter. I think it's a good position. He can bear away as he does now. Kite will fill. Guys down to the leeward side. Declan looks at his watch. He reckons he's on time. First boat's away here at the Rumble in the Reach 2024. Yuan, Declan Keogh.
positive service for life. As I said, I'm just screen there, above you on. Look at the position. And look at the service.
Next motor starts
Not exactly your own way, if you sort of get out and think of the river. Just give us a light for a look at what we've seen. Forward 16, which is some 2.5 minutes out from the one.
Plenty of work going on there, Peter. Getting that kite up, standing up. So off they go. They're on port jibe, the starboard jibe just throwing over to port now. There's the jibe captured by the camera. We're on leg one of race one. You on about to approach the first mark of the course. Now that was a really interesting start between the three Melgers, and we're seeing that on the screen. We're seeing a difference of opinion on which direction to take, with Ray Smith on starboard jibe and the other two on port jibe. And you can see on the screen there the red and blue spinnaker at the top of the screen and the blue and yellow on the bottom of the screen. So a separate direction, and we'll only know the outcome of that as we get further into the race. And there's a flurry. Now the Elliots are on the course. The yellow kite of Okaya and the two Royal Perth Yacht Club training boats, boat 6 with the women's team on and boat 1 with the youth team. A lot of boats now on the course. So Rhythm would be pretty happy with their position out of the Melgers right now. And if you look to the top of the screen right now, you'll see Yuon, which was the first boat off the start line, and they're on the north side of this stretch of water. They've rounded 2 marks and are on leg number 3 of this first round, first time round the course, race 1.
I see the difference in pressure there. They sort of got around this mark and showing quite well where the other boats here on the screen are sort of vying to get to the air.
Well, holding that shot's great with what we've got on the screen at the moment. Okaya coming in with speed, and gee, they're coming with pressure. And look at their angle on that Royal Perth Yacht Club boat number 1. Wow, that's a nice demonstration. And look at their angle on that raw first boat number 1. Wow, that's a nice demonstration.
The girls here on RBY 6. Liddy Vitaly Jones and the team doing well. You'll steal the breeze here. You know, tight working their way.
Job coming up on Ray Smith's boat there. Absolutely, Peter. You picked them this afternoon and they're really going well. That's the Octopussy in the top corner, top middle of your screen. White spinnaker, making her way to mark number 2. So there's the jibe on Octopussy. Big angles they're taking here, the light breeze. And 272, that's still the breeze of John Park. Considering that Declan Keogh on Skylar Banco's got a really scratched crew, Justin Van Didden, who sailed on the Finisterre, some people will know of that event, he's on board. Jack McGee is an engineer at Huon, likes his wooden boats. And interestingly, Nicolas Barassi, he's an Italian pro footballer, ex-pro footballer. He's sailing with Declan this afternoon. He's the Jarrah restaurant owner. If you know the Jarrah restaurant, that's up in Hillary's. So he's got a pretty scratched crew, but they're showing a nice pair of heels at the moment. That's exactly right. So soccer one day, sailing the next. Some people sail one day, soccer the next, but in his case, he's decided that he's going to do his sailing. So yeah, they're well placed, that Huon running out of wind. I will. It's often our statisticians who deserve that award, Peter. So all the boats on the course now. It's scattered from the extreme west of the course to the extreme east of the course. So, yeah, the boats everywhere. All the boats on the course now.
It's been sort of very sort of ebbing and flowing with every sort of the boats working up the middle, different angles we can see there.
So our pictures show Huon at the top of the course, out towards the Swan Yacht Club end, just struggling to get around that mark and keep their lead. Boat 6 of Bindi Bertalis Jones has had a really good leg up the middle of the river and in good pressure now just behind Okaya. And they've smashed the Royal Perth Yacht Club men's team. So that puts Rhythm of Nick Gray with the orange flapping kite on your screen right now in front of this first race here this afternoon. So that puts Rhythm of Nick Gray with the orange flapping kite on your screen right now in front of this first race. Which side of LDE is like to go? Nick Gray 655 struggling with that kite at the moment. There's no way Melee will get through underneath Nick Gray's boat there, Rhythm. So they're both the same boats. Turkish Delight's even going to take Melee in the process of that. Bit of a rookie error to get underneath under Nick Gray, I reckon. And just sneaking into the picture at that mark there, just sneaking into that picture. Bowsprit now without a kite up. So gone now. Camera's gone off it, but it looks like it's that's how far back you can go if you've got a penalty to. So that's Declan Keogh and Yuan now back into fourth place. So for Kelvin Hart from Two Monkeys, it's a pretty ordered little race at the moment. It's easy to follow. But yeah, we haven't got into anything too dangerous so far. It's going okay. But it's Nick Gray and Rhythm ahead at the moment, with Melee in second place. It's Nick Gray and Rhythm ahead at the moment. Melee in second place.
There's a K on screen, John, pretty well straight away, heading out the centre of the river there to pick up the breeze. Got 6.
The picture in the screen at the moment, the Royal Perth Youth team. Antonio Konovic, the young man with the helm in the hand, just recently back from the Rolex Sydney Hobart, sailed into 67th place on IRC with Waiuna of Hilary Arthur.
Good run there. Other of us, we've got Melee sort of having a bit of a
there
wild.
goes Husey packing that kite down.
Pull that down and miss this mark. Trying to sort out their kite.
So to give some context of where Octopussy is on the racecourse, probably in the middle of the fleet. There's about as many in front as behind, and Octopussy, in distance terms, that's about where you'd want to be.
Spending a lot of time out there in the morning. You can see Octopussy playing a little bit around. You can see down in the mornings there, just on the screen.
That's
on screen the Bible here of John Kelly out.
So we're at the head of the course there now, as I see it, and there's the two. There's
second lap.
Melee coming up to the mark there, mark number 2.
Yeah, the boat with no name.
At the head of the course there now, as I said. And there's the 2, there's Melee coming up to the mark there, mark
Just like Heather, this is round ahead of, looks like Bruce Wilkins in the team there.
Sometimes you think of sailing as people not doing much, but with these pictures we can actually see what a lot of work's going on the boat.
Good run of breeze there. Sometimes you think of sailing as people not doing much, but with these pictures we can actually see.
You want to be out there, Peter? It's a very good spot here. We like it here, don't we? Well, now we've got 2 monkeys giving us the pictures. How easy the commentary? That's rhythm. That's Nick Gray. He's yeah, that's good. Yep. And there's the first shot we've seen this afternoon of Parabella. That's the Runnels 8 come up from Rockingham with 1945 on the sail.
And there's the first shot we've seen this afternoon of Parabella. That's the Runnels 8 come up from Rockingham with 1945 on the sail.
That's the leading boat, Peter. Well, so far they are the best of the 3 Melgers. Their performance is the best of the 3 Melgers, coming from 5th to 1st, yeah. Well, so far they are the best of the 3 Melgers. Their performance is the best of the 3 Melgers, coming from 5th to 1st.
There's none over here. Got a mark here, you can see a few of the boats around, it's busy down there. This course, back towards the boats. The others having to...
Parabellum, the boat on the screen with the wide spinnaker, is the scratch boat. There's 2 of these yachts, these Runnels 8s down in Rockingham. This one's got the carbon fibre mast, and it's great to see these guys come up. They've been watching from the veranda for a couple of years, and it's hard to get in these light airs from scratch right the way through the fleet. Hey.
It's great to see these guys come up. They've been watching from the veranda for a couple of years, and it's hard to get in these light airs from scratch right the way through the fleet. Yeah, it's certainly a lot of work.
So while we're on Parabellum there, 1945, a couple of those young guys, the helmsman and his brother and his mate, they've all sailed Avon catamarans down there, and they've also sailed F-18, so they come from a dinghy background. These boats will be great for them. They're loving it.
These boats will be great for them. They're loving it. Just a bigger dinghy, yeah? Just a bigger dinghy.
So race boat 6 is the Royal Perth women's team, and boat number 1 with the red bow is the Royal Perth youth team. 2 teams up from that program they've got down there. But for sure, the girls just getting that knock now. They'll take attack very soon. There they go. There's the tack coming up. And they'll use that middle of the river that they successfully used in leg number 1 to extend the lead over their competitor.
We can see the rhythm here, the loop, though. They're coming down to their final lap.
I saw Nick Gray, the helmsman of Rhythm, last night at the briefing, and I said to him, "What do you like about this race?" He said, "I haven't achieved it yet, but I love beating Ray Smith and the other Melchers." That's what he loves. I saw Nick Gray, the helmsman of Rhythm, last night at the briefing, and I said to him, "What do you like about this race?" He said, "I haven't achieved it yet, but I love beating Ray Smith and the other Melchers." That's what he loves.
Yeah, we see they've got to be so going to be winning today.
Melee. Melgers from Royal Perth. Melee. Ardello, Kilcullen, Helming and Dad on the bow. That's the way to go. Absolutely, and he's got 3 of them on, 3 Kilcullens on board that boat. A family that sails together, lives together, Peter. Doing a penalty, are they? Okay. Yeah, a little bit of confusion on the course at the moment with people deciding which they think is the right course. But it appears that there is the view of young Vitali Jones that they've finished the race, as is the view of Yuan and as is the view of a couple of Vipers. And so, yeah, but I think they've still got to go to the top and finish. That's what I think, yeah. Let me put this into perspective for you, Kelvin. So as much as it was ordered earlier, it's now become disordered because there's a differing view amongst the sailors as to how many laps of the course they need to do. So we have 2 boats still out on the course, apparently racing, believing they're correct, and a number of boats that are sort of sailing a totally different course, and one boat, in fact, that believes it's finished, but in fact hasn't. So we're in control here. We know exactly what's happening, but maybe if we could stay with this boat, yeah, that's it. Yeah, that'll work. Yeah, that'll work. Yeah. Stick with that boat for the time being, that would be good. Yep, we're sticking with 655, the boat which is sailing that particular course. We're not worrying about the others right at the moment. Yep. Lovely shot of rhythm there. The guys with their legs over the side. Boat looks really well balanced. Weight over the keel. 665 rhythm, Nick Gray. Great big tall bloke he is. Rhythm tax. And a good guide also will be the course that Ray Smith's sailing. Those guys will be, if they're still on the course, that gives us a good indication. They look looking back, wondering what's going on. 655 from Melgers. Thank you. So we're coming into the finishing line here, 655. We believe this boat's finishing correctly, and there you go. We're onto it all day. 655. That's Nick Gray having a win. First race of the Rumble for 2024. 3 guys on board. Fantastic to see them read their race instructions and sail the proper course. They will. Finished second. 668. Yep. Yep. Okay, folks. Well, that sort of leads to the conclusion of race number 1. We believe it's Rhythm, followed by Pete, You're Just Like Heaven of Ray Smith. Turkish Delight. So that's 1, 2, 3 from our point of view, and from the fantastic pictures. We'll get confirmation of all that from the starters, and when we have confirmation, we'll come back to you. So we'll take a short break now when Kelvin's ready, and he can give his camera team a well-earned rest. We'll just put some pictures on the screen for you, and we'll be back for race 2 shortly.
When you need to keep your business on the move, you need Fuel Distributors of Western Australia. The experts when it comes to the reliable delivery of bulk fuel and lubricants. Our modern fleet handle contracts from the smallest farm to the biggest mining operation from Albany to Geraldton and across to the goldfields. With over 19 years of experience, we pride ourselves on providing a fast and efficient fuel delivery service. Fuel Distributors of Western Australia, your local fuel people.
Well, welcome back, listeners and viewers. We're here on the veranda at the East Fremantle Yacht Club. Saturday the 13th of January. Rumble in the Reach. 3 pursuit races. Slower boats off first. And then the faster ones. The ideal being that all yachts will cross the line at the same time. I'm Ed Feathers, and with me commentating is Peter Kennington. Peter Kennington... ideally they'd finish at the same time, but ideally they'd sail the correct course. So in race 1 we saw a fair bit of confusion and only 5 boats sailed the proper course. And Adelio Kilcullen, a junior from Royal Perth Yacht Club, in second place in Melee. Also no, he was a non-finisher. Just like Heaven, second place, like you said. Third place was Turkish Delight. Fourth place was Akea, Gianpolo Crugnale. And in fifth place, Sissing in the Wind. So all the others scored 14 points. It's going to be hard for any of them to come back from there, I would have thought. But then this is another race. So the boats have been penalised. We have a new order, and we can tell you delightfully that the AP flag has gone down, and so we're into race number 2. Really excited about this race number 2. Hopefully they'll get the right course. So in the next race, the order of start will be Squalo Banco, the Sports Boat 20 offline first. Turkish Delight off in second place. They're equal with Melee of Adello Kilcullen. And then a number of them, all the Elliots off at the same time again. The 3 Elliots all off at the same time. Then it's down to Octopussy of Reese Howell. They'll be very disappointed with race number 1. And then that's followed by the 3 Vipers still next over the line, and then Parabellum of Shane Phillips. A big ask coming from that far back, the Runnels 8 that's come up from Rockingham. And what a delightful scene it is here. For you looking through the Facebook, we are very fortunate to be here, but you're getting the pictures of the yachts milling around the line during this warm-up period, just getting ready before the start. Right in front of the East Fremantle Yacht Club, if you look to the left of your screen there, those are the boat pens at the Yacht Club, and right at the extreme left of your screen is the East Fremantle Yacht Club veranda from which we are commentating. Looking down the river, looking down the river to the harbour, you can see the Swan Yacht Club in the distance, the Scouts Hall there where they do some scout racing. So plenty to look at. The beautiful tennis club in East Fremantle and the scene above, and now we're back to the yachts. It looks as though we're focusing here on, that looks like Ray Smith to me, and Ray Smith there with his crew having a little bit of a chat. It'll be a while till they start, I think, but he's looking at the breeze, getting warmed up, And you can see the despondent look on Mike Hughes' face there, the big fireman. Well, it'll be exactly the same course, but the yachts will no doubt get around the course. A downwind start here at race number 2 for the Rumble in the Reach. A downwind start, as it always is, and with the sports boats gathered. A good crowd of sports boats, 13 this afternoon, and a very quality number of good sailors amongst the crews. As we look through the boats, as we sail around the course with you on the Facebook, we hope to bring you some information about some of the racing crew. Very much part of it is what they do on the boat. The man that drives the boat has got a big position, but hey, there's a lot done on the boat. And through these pictures from Two Monkeys, we're able to get plenty of good vision, looking down into the boats and seeing the hard work that goes on from our elevated position and the telephoto lens of the cameras. It's been absolutely superb so far, Peter. So 1 minute to go, Peter. Yuan, they supply power, air and water to the mining industry, and Declan Keogh was responsible for getting 10 of these sports boats, 20s, to the Fremantle Sailing Club, and allows young people to transition from their dinghies into sports boats, and he did a great job. He now hosts this one himself, and he's got a great crew. Justin Van Dinnen from Finisterre on board, Jack McKee, and Nicholas Peresi from Italy. He's a professional sports person, being a soccer player, but this is his first ever sail. The next boats up are Turkish Delight and Melee. They'll be the next to hit the line. So Turkish Delight, the FAR 25, and Melee, the Melges 24, Oz 772, if you're looking at the screen. So there gives the picture on the screen of Yuan. That's the first boat on the course. As yet, Akaya has to enter the course, not yet on the race course. Pretty good job for a novice crew on that boat Yuan, I reckon. Pretty good job. They're just struggling to hold it now, but when you think that a couple of these guys have not sailed before, so it's a really good job. And there's the jibe. Let's keep our eyes on that jibe. A little bit of settling down of that that asymmetric, and now it's settled. They're off to Mark 2. The lead boat on the course at this stage, and that's always a nice position, even though it's early days. That blue and yellow kite on the split screen is Melee. Yep. And there's a Kea, very distinctive with the yellow, very graphic mainsail and the yellow spinnaker. And a duel between the two Royal Perth Yacht Club Elliots. This is great. It's like match racing. Boat 1, boat 6. At the moment, the boys' youth team just ahead of the women's team from Royal Perth Yacht Club. Boat number 1, Anton Yakonovic, just back from the Rolex Sydney Hobart, helming that boat, and Vitaly Jones steering the Royal Perth Yacht Club number 6. The women's force jibe coming in from boat number 6 right now. Well, I like it in there in the mornings. I get a little bit of breeze over the top of the hill coming down through the old quarantine station for animals. Nice picture of the Royal Perth Yacht Club women's team there. Weight forward. .668. Just let's stick with that, just like heaven at the moment, working their way out of the moorings. I mean, already Nick Gray's going to come out of left of screen and looks as though he's started behind just like heaven and is at the mark and jibed and once again ahead of Ray Smith. Back to Royal Perth Yacht Club number 6 and a split around that boat there on the moorings. Octopussy coming into screen now. Reese Howell on the stick. Octopussy, well-sailed boat. The one sails guys. Jibe. Look how Reese stands on the boat there, Peter Kennington. You know, good balance. Standing up on the boat. You got to like that. Yep. .279, that's one of our Vipers. So that's leg number 3, and both boats do a simo tack with Melee ahead and to windward of Turkish Delight. Micron on the bow of Melee there. Good water, they make good water, those Micron people. You need plenty of water on a day like this. Damn hot. Off screen, the last boat of race number 2 is now just starting. But we're looking at Melee, a good picture of Melee with Adelio Kilcullen driving the boat, and Dad, Michael, the owner, with his legs over the side. Have a look at the ex-pro Italian soccer player there, retired from soccer now, working on his first day on the boat. He's got plenty on, but he seems to be taking to it really well. That's the lead boat, Ewan. It's a SB20, Declan Keogh, and Ewan supply water and power to the mining industry, hence the flag. And they're having a good breeze and a nice starboard jibe, starboard reach down the course. They're making to mark number 2, no, mark number 1. Mark number 1. Bruce has worked beautifully for him, Peter. Coming to this mark on a nice angle with plenty of speed. Let's watch the jibe. Here we go. Coming up. The yacht that we briefly saw on screen was the scratch marker Parabellum, which is only just getting to Mark 2 now. So at this pace, the Yuan's likely to lap the scratch marker, sailing pretty well. That's exactly right, and whilst we're watching the lead boat Yuan in race number 2 of this afternoon's Rumble in the Reach, going from Mark 1 to Mark 2 for the second time, let's give a shout out to those in Indonesia that's watching at the moment. Thank you for the nice messages coming through on Facebook, and the Whitford Sea Rescue guys that are hopefully not having any rescues today. Thank you for your messages. Keep them rolling in on the Facebook. We love to hear from you. And we'll keep you informed as best we can. Back to the screen. And Rhythm, Nick Gray, very briefly. And the lead boat of Royal Perth Yacht Club, that's the guys, the youth team. There's Travis working away, the bigger guy of the lot. He's a bit of a youth himself. He gets on with the kids pretty well, Travis. He's got a new young one himself, about a year old now, so I reckon it'll be only a matter of time till that's on the race course with him. Young Kate Wern, Matthew Wern's sister, married to Travis, so a lot of sailing heritage there. I like to stalk them, yeah. Gianpaolo Cugnali on that boat, Skip Lisserman, Mark Rest and Lachlan Park. Rhythm. He led the first race. He's been heavily penalised, and he's looking pretty good again in this race. Oh, they've just done a Mexican on Melee there, Peter. You know where the Mexican came from, Pete? Do you know where the Mexican? Okay, so in San Diego, Buddy Melgers was sailing the America's Cup there, and when they decided they'd do this manoeuvre, invariably at the bottom mark when they did it, the bow of their boat was pointing to Mexico, so it became known as the Mexican. Not a lot of people are interested in that, I don't think. Yeah, but they're a long way back. They have got their own little race. That's Kim Looning's boat with no name. Hissing in the wind. Well, Brett Sharp's got this boat just new, so give him a chance. He'll be right into it. And the other boat, John Park, Steel to Breeze, he's borrowed it today. So yeah, And there's a shot of Octopus who's back with the Vipers. Yellow Viper's gone right into the moorings there. $19.45. Parabellum, prepare for war. That's what Latin, prepare for war. Here our stats men in the background, they're all over it. Clem Rogers, Cyril Eliopoulos, keeping the numbers. A number of them are away today with Rodney Berto wedding, I believe. So there's a few Vipers busy with all of that. Who'd schedule a wedding on the Rumble in the Reach? Second race, if you've just joined us this afternoon's Rumble in the Reach. We're second time round now, so we're getting well into the race. Still, if you're off screen, Yuan's leading the race. Lead boat. They seem to have been in breeze for most of this race. It's been lead boat. They seem to have just struck a lucky patch. And in that chasing pack is Achaia and Turkish Delight. Oh, how good are our camera people? Mick Genie working hard there as well. Yeah, exactly. Been in every rumble, Turkish Delight, from the start. It's been in every rumble. They bought it out from Turkey. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. We're back to Malay. They just wound that out beautifully. Last year, Mike Kilcullen had this boat for the first time down here. He's replaced pretty much every fitting and every bit on this boat over the last year. What? Yes, exactly. We're back to the Royal Perth Yacht Club boat number 1. Looks like the jib coming down and the spinnaker's up there. Boat number 1 ahead of the other Royal Perth Yacht Club team. But just ahead of them are those gang of 3 Melgers. Boat number 1. Malay with the blue spinnaker and Rhythm with the orange, and then the further one down with the blue and yellow on it is Just Like Heaven. So yep, there's a little gang of them there. Not been a good race for Achaia, this one. Lying in about 7th spot. Good tight racing between those Melgers. Yeah. That's a good race there, guys, that Melgers race, that between those 3 of those boats. That's mark number 2, Peter. That's the extreme east of this race course. Oh, this is going to be cat and mouse, these two. Yeah, just probably in the wind shadow rhythm now of Ray. So Melee there, just in front. They're trying to live there though. 655's trying to live there. Nick Gray likes that bit of water. So he's got to tack out of there for sure. So I think Nick Gray's been able to live inside of him. But jeepers, the young bloke in the Mellows sailing like a nice race. Beyond the boats, the yachts there that we see on camera is the westerly direction. So we're looking directly west out of there, and there's still a nice little bit of breeze coming in from the southwest. With this very hot day, very blessed with the breeze. Bit of tide perhaps as we sit on here, a lot of leeway going on Yuan at the moment. That's it. So it looks like Yuan coming into the finish now, I'd say, Pete. So the finish coming up here. Well, they've sailed a good race. I had a bob on them. Nice race. Yeah. Yeah, very good job. So the lead boat off has maintained that position in first place. So the camera... Yeah. Now where are we? We're on Yuan, yeah. Yeah, the boys are happy with that. And have a look at them. There's the soccer player. The soccer player looks very relaxed. That was you go for your race and you're in first position. Can't get much better than that. Second place Turkish Delight coming to the line. Have a look at this. This is really tight here. This is actually really tight. Yeah, look how tight this is. Yeah, Turkish Delight. Yeah, second place to Turkish Delight. And great racing between the Melgers. Very good shots. In it goes. Yay. Followed by Rhythm. And followed by 668 Ray Smith. So looks like the young guy of Adello Kilcullen sailed a really good race to be the better of the Melgers. And there goes the Royal... Sorry, Peter, to interrupt you. There goes the Royal Perth Yacht Club, the youth team crossing the line. So they are, I think, in 6th place. And there's still 6 boats on the course. 7 boats on the course, actually. Probably Achaia is the lead boat of those that are remaining on the course. And notice they've used the middle of the course coming up here to get to this mark. the last mark before they go to the finishing line. They just want to leave a bit here before they tack, so they'll make this mark. There's no risk of losing a place, but if you take it too tight, there comes the tack now. You may not make the mark. So, yeah, pretty good tack. Still a lot of sideways movement there in that water. They went a bit early. Watch for the touch here. Watch for the touch. They're going to touch the bow. Oh, I think they snuck around. There was a Turkish special, the East Fremantle Yacht Club EFYC on the final marker, Kaya. And this race has been going. This is the 14th edition, race 2. This boat's coming in now at Kaya, and sailed over the top of them is Octopussy, sailed in that manoeuvre. Octopussy sailing over the top, coming in for 7th place at Kaya. At this stage in 8th. There go the guys, getting on that nice bit of side to sit up on there with your backside up on it. Quite leisurely gentleman sailing there. Gianpaolo Crugnale in the yellow fancy kite, the women's youth team from Royal Perth Yacht Club. Bindi Batala Jones, as Peter says. Nice job, girls. Nice job, sailors all round. Next boat coming in just to the left of the Royal Perth Yacht Club boat, finishing the black bow. That's the first of the Vipers, John Park. The Vipers not having such a good day today. Probably the lack of the stronger breezes, perhaps, for the Vipers, I think. Not today. Yep. And that's 279, the last bike. And that leaves us with really only one boat on the course, which is Parabellum. And they've been struggling, but let's have a look at them. Parabellum, yeah, they've had a pretty tough handicap today for them. The 8, the Runnels 8. There's a couple of them down at Rockingham. Trevor Taylor's got one. Trevor Taylor. But Trevor Taylor couldn't be here today. He's delivering Waiuna back from Rolex Sydney Hobart. So maybe we'll see him next year. $19.45, the Parabellum. It's got the white markers on the bow. Bow sail. Yep. There we go. Great camera shot of the tack. Arms and elbows. The big prodder out the front. Yeah, they're going to make it, but they had a tough day. They've had a tough day, the Phillips and their team, I have to say. So in they come into the line, and that'll be the final boat over the line for this particular race as we see it. Squalo Banco of Declan Keogh won that second race, and then a good battle between the Melgers that we witnessed with the three boats very close to each other. Look, if you've enjoyed it, we'll be back shortly. We'll probably take a short break and give the camera and the Two Monkeys guys a nice rest, and we'll come back for race number 3 very soon. And now we're over to those guys, and we'll be back shortly.
Modern fleet handle contracts from the smallest farm to the biggest mining operation, from Albany to Geraldton and across to the goldfields. With over 19 years of experience, we pride ourselves on providing a fast, and efficient fuel delivery service. Fuel Distributors of Western Australia, your local fuel people.
Welcome back, listeners, to the third race of this afternoon's trilogy, Rumble in the Reach for 2024. I'm Ed Feathers. Peter Kennington's here. As always, Peter's been here since the inception and was involved in the first race. 14th year pursuit race, 13 boats this afternoon, slowest boats off first. And we saw a good second race, Peter. Nice race from Turkish Delight and also from Melee, Adelio Kilcullen. Good race from them. Look, if you're at home and listening in, and you will be, because otherwise how would you know, we've had a bit of a cumulative look at it as we move into race number 3, and it looks to us as if the front runners are Turkish Delight with a cumulative score of 5 on equal points with Rhythm, the Melges 24 of Nick Gray on 5, so they're 2 equal. In second place on 7 points, last year's winner, Ray Smith, on Just Like Heaven, in a good position, lying in third place. And then in fourth place is Akea, the Elliott 7 RF 777, the black sails with all the yellow over it, in fourth place. Pretty tight, and then we go back from there a little bit down the track. All the others are a little bit out of contention because, other than Squalo Branco maybe, because of that disastrous first race for many of them. We're in the start of the race number 3. Peter, you've been keeping an eye on it. Yep, so here goes last race winner, Squalo Bianco, off the line. Looks like bear away. See you on white kite up now. Nice pictures of the guys working inside the boat. Get on the Facebook, recommend it to your friends. Have a look at all these pictures, they're absolutely fantastic. Jibe. Well, Akaya did probably the best of those 5 boats on the start line. That's F707 with the yellow spinnaker and the black and yellow graphics on the mainsail. It is an Elliott, like the other Elliots, but it's a pretty souped-up Elliott. If you look at the top of the 707, it's got a square top main, and the Elliott 7s from Royal Perth have got the traditional mains on the top. So it is a souped-up boat. It should go faster than the other 2 Elliots. And absolutely, Peter. And we will see who made the best decision of all of that. And as they've adjusted the handicaps in the last 2 races, it's nice to see that hey, there's a lot of just like we're saying, it's great to see that. Last year's winner, Ray Smith, if you've just joined us, has taken the pin of the start line with him. I suppose it being last year's winner and finding himself in the position he's in, if he doesn't like it, take the start mark and go home. I mean, he's going to be stuck there for a little time. In fact, we've already got the jib furled down now. But a lot of that confusion occurred because the handicappers put all the boats on the line together. And the red spinnaker on the screen is the Royal Perth Yacht Club youth team. So, yeah. Look, a bit of disappointment on that boat. Alan Smith, Mike Hughes, and Sullivan there. But, hey, that's racing for you. And when it gets that tight, there's the big fireman going in the water. Look at that. Eh? No, it's not the fireman. It's not the fireman. Simon Sutherland. Any excuse to get in the water, I suppose. Well, they hopefully will get going. Yes, they're off again. They'll need it back in position because Parabellum is about to come into the start line. Jeepers, they've had a tough day this afternoon. Very heavily handicapped. Port tack, line of 4 or 5 of them. You on approaching the obstruction mark. Late in the afternoon, a few people using our beautiful conditions here in Western Australia have been out on the ocean, and some of them are returning to the Eastern Mantle Yacht Club for an afternoon in their bar and to talk about their activities of the day. So we'll join them after we've finished commentating this race today. He's a lot closer than race number 2. He's to leeward, but he's cleared that obstruction mark, so that's good.
So what makes you stop sailing? Yeah, I've got a dicky shoulder on that one. Just confirm on 668. Yes, 668, yep. Confirming just the rules here that these cross start the mark. Yep. And you're just repositioning back to where it was.
Lead boat, SB, 20. Deck and Keo. You on. As we see that Yuan heading out of mark number 3. We see the chasing fleet all on port tack, making their way to mark number 3. Still a nice breeze here. Light breeze, but nice. Those who've been watching will remember that Just Like Heaven picked up the pin mark. Warren Erasmus, who's been following everything, can update you on what that means for Just Like Heaven and how it may impinge on their results.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Ed. So, unfortunately for Just Like Heaven, they were sitting in second place. So Tide was Turkish Delight in first and Rhythm on first place. 2 points behind Just Like Heaven. They have slipped well behind. Now, based on the rules, because they went past the start line and part of their boat crossed, they are allowed to start. But because they have then unarguably picked up or touched part of the course marks and carried it quite a significant way, they now have to do 2 penalty turns to absolve themselves of that, and then they can continue the race as per normal racing rules. So hopefully they can wash that off. The sailor looked like he had a good wash, having a bit of a swim to retrieve that, and then back into the course to work up a bit of a sweat for the afternoon. Back to you, Ed.
Thank you, Warren Erasmus. Peter. Yeah, it's nice pictures that as they move from Mark 1 to Mark 2. The job just no job coming up as yet on the Royal Perth Yacht Club number 1 boat with the red spinnaker. But hey, just off screen, coming into the picture right now is Yuan, absolutely screaming across to Mark 2. And there's Rhythm, 655, lying currently in this race in 4th place. Looks like Yuan picked the good angles there, across from Mark 1 to Mark 2, and has extended the lead in my view. Wow, the breeze has started to kick in a little bit. Yeah, we've got a little bit of action there. And hissing in the wind of Brett Sharp. And they're not. And there's Octopussy involved in all of this as well. The new breeze has brought the Vipers into play a little bit. Now we're on Octopussy. And we're back up to the middle of the course there. You have to duck behind, eh? That's a nice moment in sailing. That's a good one to capture. That cross there in the highlights footage. That's a really good cross there. It's really good to see those youth sailors on that boat. They're sailing it well right now. Well, even if young Anton does well in this race, it's impossible for him to win the overall regatta. But for Rhythm of Nick Gray that you mentioned on the picture, it's a big moment for them because this counts a lot for their campaign. Yes, it is. It's a race win, but in the terms of the series, that's quite correct, yeah. So at the top of the screen now, we've got Anton Jukanovic in the Elliott 7 coming into the mark number 3. And that'll be a tack around that mark and then downwind. I've got the big bloke Travis Burtonshaw on the side. So if you're watching at home, Matthew Wern, the brother-in-law, watch out, there's a new champ here. Go, Travis. Go, Travis. And in second place, coming in there now, is Rhythm. Barring accident or incident, you would imagine that Rhythm should take out the Royal Perth Yacht Club Antonovich team. But, you know, it's yacht racing. G'day, Brad Devine. We've had your message. Thanks for sending in a message. We'll get Peter to hold his mic close to his phone, to his face. And I know Pete knows Brad, so I'll pass the message on. And you on in third place. And as we go to Turkish Delight, we're 5th place. One of the contenders for the overall Turkish Delight. So, yeah. He's won it once. He's won it once before. Okay, I'll probably pull the inside running, do you think, at this mark? Jibe and take the inside. Take the jibe inside. Yep. Top of screen, folks. We'll probably pick up Rhythm shortly. They've got ahead, as you would expect them to do. It's expected that Rhythm should outsail the Elliott 7, so they're in the spot that they should be. And if this continues, I don't want to make a prediction yet, but if this continues, Nick Dre, only on 5 points already, if they win, 6 points will be almost unassailable. They have a really good clear lead. Well picked, Peter. They might have to take a leg shortly. It's getting a bit tight for them in that corner. Bit of wind in the middle of the course, so the little Elliott's made a bit of a gain, I think. Keep our eyes on 655, Nick Gray and the Elliott, but I think the relative position doesn't really matter for rhythm. Quite an impressive performance from the Elliott youth team from Royal Perth Yacht Club this afternoon. Hey, there's a lot of backslapping going on there and high fives. So that was a great race from Rhythm. Nick Gray on board. Luke Patterson, Mark Somerville, and yeah, a great team there. It's a really good win and a good sail from the second place getter. But hey, Pete, Luke Patterson on board. He sails with Greg Kerr on a Etchells. He sails with Grant Olderson on a Flying 15. He sailed in the Mirror Nationals recently. He's on the board of Australian Sailing. For Luke Patterson, Nick Gray's recruited really well to get a sailor of that quality on board, and Mark Somerville as well. And so as Melee coming across the line, Joe Kilcullen, Todd Back, Celine Trin, Daisy's daughter, Mike Kilcullen, a good team. It'll be tight between Squalo Blanco and Akea for third place, I think. We'll have to wait for the starter's confirmation on that, but I think it'll be tight. So as we see it, overall, Rhythm of Nick Gray in first place, second place, Turkish Delight, and then a toss-up between Akea of Gian Tualo Crugnale or Squalo Blanco. Sailed a good race all day, Declan Keogh. Yeah, it's been a terrific afternoon as we wind the boats down. There comes your pick, Peter Kennington. I don't like to point that out, but that's 008. That's the Octopussy. Not really the win for it today, I think. 279 hissing in the wind. Brett Sharp enjoying the new boat. It's good to see new people coming to the Vipers. Well, they've got a wedding on today, so how can you put a wedding on a day when there's a yacht race on? I don't understand it. Anyway, there you are. So we've got the last couple of boats coming up to the finishing line. So it's been a great afternoon, 3 races, and we think we've picked it for you. The results will be announced in the Yacht Club later on this afternoon. Our stat man tells us that Rhythm is in first place, second place Turkish Delight, and in third place, coming back from the dead, Just Like Heaven, Ray Smith. Well done. You've got that third place totally buggered up. But anyway, Peter Kennington, thanks very much. It's been great to talk with you this afternoon. And Warren Erasmus, our stats man who writes for the Weekend West. You can catch him on Sundays, and he's also on 91.3 Sport FM on Let's Go Sailing. Thank you for your work to our stats people, Cyril Eliopoulos and Clem Rogers, who worked very, very hard this afternoon. It's been nice to work with those guys, as we always do. I think the pictures were outstanding, Peter, just before we go and sign off. 2 Monkeys pictures this afternoon, which has been beamed out through Facebook to Dubai and various other places. They've been amazing. I think it's been really good for the Yacht Club, and all the cameramen that work with Kelvin and the drone pilots. Thanks a lot for sending us those pictures, which made our job easy. But now we'll sign off until next year.
When you need to keep your business on the move, you need Fuel Distributors of Western Australia. The experts when it comes to the reliable delivery of bulk fuel and lubricants. Our modern fleet handle contracts from the smallest farm to the biggest mining operation, from Albany to Geraldton and across to the goldfields. With over 19 years of experience, we pride ourselves on providing a fast and efficient fuel delivery service. Fuel Distributors of Western Australia, your local fuel people.